Welcome back guys. So here we will see some more concept of hash set and some more methods of hash set. So if you look at, I have a class created, okay, and then we have a main method, and then I have created the object of all three set classes: hash set, linked hash set and tree set. And by now you are familiar with what is the difference among these three. So what I will do here is, first of all, I will add some data to this hash set. So let's say I will add one integer data called 70, and I will also add one data is equal to 20. Okay, so this data I will add in all the classes. So we have data in now hash set, linked hash set and tree set. Then what we will do is, we have a method in hash set called contains. So what this guy will do, contains, you can check a object in the hash set. Okay, any set classes you can check the object. So what I will do, I will try to search for 20, right? This will be the similar way it will work for linked hash set also, it will work for tree hash set also. This contains method will be common for all. So basically we need to understand how this works internally. So when you do a contains on the collections of set of object, so basically what happens, if you try to understand this concept, you know that your hash set internally uses hash map, right? And this is the internal implementations of the hash map, where you can see that you have a bucket and nodes, right? So this we have already seen that, like how internally this works, and by now we are familiar of, right? So these are the bucket. You know that whenever you create the object of hash map, one bucket will get created of size 16 and index will start from the 0 to 15, right? So this is your index 0 to 15, and this is the data storage part. So when you store the data in the hash set, basically for that particular object one hash code will get generated, and then we will find the index by doing a modulus of 15, and wherever this index will get matched in this bucket 0 to 15, we will add one node to the particular index. Now here we are talking about the contents. So how contents will work is, let's say you have a data in this hash set, right? So this is the bucket and this is the node. So node is the one where we have the data. Now this contains, if you look at here my notes, what I have written, contains internally will generate the hash. Again, contains will do the same thing. The moment you perform contains, internally it will go and it will generate the hash of the object. It will find the index, it will do a modulus of 15. So whenever you will do modulus of 15, your always index will come between 0 to 15. Okay, and then it will look for the index in the bucket. So basically whatever index will come, let's say if index will come as a 5 or 4, so it will go to the 4, it will check for the bucket, and then once the bucket is found, then what it will do, it will check for the hash code. So once the hash code will match, like this bucket 4 has a reference of this node, right? So once this will match, it will return you true, right? It will go and return you true. That's how it works. So basically if you go to the contains method inside, click on control, go and press control and click on contains. See internally what it will do, map.contain key. Map.contains key when it will do, and when you will go to inside contains key, press control, click on contains key. See here you can see that it will do get off node, and how this node will do, it will do based on the hash, right? So clear here, because hash is the one where it will generate your hash, it will do an indexing, and then it will get a node from your bucket. Okay, that's how contains works internally. Now this contains method return type, if you look at, either you will get true or false. Okay, so this contains times return type, either you will get true or false. Let's come back. So this contains will work for all three, and return type is the boolean. If you will try to print here, if this object is found here, you will get a true. If it is not found in the particular hash set object, you will get false, right? Apart from this contains, there is another method, okay, So let's say you have two hash set object. Okay, you have two hash set object. So there is another method called contains all. So this contains all, let's say if I will go and if I will put the another hash set. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is, in this object I'm doing that contains all of this linked hash set. So this also internally, what it will do, actually it will make use of the same method, but it will run a loop. Okay, so if you go inside, press Ctrl, click on contains all. See, you can see that it is running a for each loop, right? It is running a for each loop, and internally it will make a call to contains, same method. So now the same concept will work. One by one your object will get fetch from these collections. Okay, it will go here, it will generate the hash for the object, it will do a modulus, and then it will find the index, and after finding the index it will look for that particular node. So what happens, assume that this is the case. Here you have two node. Okay, here you have two node, which means for two object you will have the same index. So how it will work in this case? First it will come to, let's say you, after this all calculations, you got index is equal to 8 after this calculations, assume that. Then it will come here, for this 8 index it will check for this hash code, whether the object, whatever hash code you are looking for, whether it is matching or not. If not, if this hash code will not match, then it will go to the next node of this first node. So first it will check if there is any other node this first node has. Yes, this first node is pointing to one more node. Then what it will do, for this node it will compare the hash code, and if this matches, you will get true. If both is not matches, you will get false. Clear? So whenever you have one index for two hash code, okay, it will go and actually it will check both the node. Okay, and then whatever, if it is matches you will get a true, if it is not matches you will get a false. Understood here? Let's say you are looking for test. Assume that your hash set has the data. Do not get confused. Here I have used integer. Okay, do not get confused. Let's say you have a RAM and there is another data called test. Okay, RAM and test you have. Test and RAM. You are looking for RAM. You are doing that hasset dot contains RAM. So how this will work? Even for this contains hasset dot contains test you are looking for. So for test also it will generate the hash. So when it will generate the hash code, okay, and when it will do a modulus, you will get an index is equal to 8. But for this 8 index, already one node we have which has address of 733. So it will check like whether this has a node. Yes, it has. Then what is the address of the node? It will compare. It will not match. Then will this node is pointing to some other node? Yes. What is the address of that node? 938, which is matching. If this will match, then you will get a true. Right? This is the case of collision, which I have already explained in very details in my previous example. Here I'll give you the idea of how it works. Okay, so basically when you look at this contains all, people will ask you in the interview, this contains all here, what happens is your time complexity of contains all is going to be big O of n. So big O of n in the sense of, when you do a contains all, basically internally what you are trying to do here, if you press on control and click on this, you are running a for loop. So the moment you run a for loop, your worst time complexity will be always big O of n. So for contains all, your time complexity will be big O of n. This is for contains all. But let's say when you have only contain, then time complexity will not be a big O of n, it will be in constant time. Mostly it will be in the constant time. Again, there could be a worst case also where your one index will have multiple nodes. Let's say if your one index will have, let's say, 10 nodes, then again it will iterate over the nodes, and you are looking for the object which is present at the end of this index, right? So let's say this has 5 nodes. You are looking for a object which is present at the end. So here also it will iterate, right? Here also it will iterate. So but this case will be very less, because HashMap internally is very smart enough to design a bucket where you should not get more collision. Okay, it's very smart enough to design a bucket where you should not get collision. But you can say that in best case, or mostly in most of the cases, your contains will be big O of 1, and your contains all will be big O of n because you are running a for loop. So with this we have seen that how contains and contains all works, and this whatever method I have told you for the hash set, same will work for the linked hash set also, same will work for the tree set also. So here we are good with this. Now there is another small method I will try to cover here. In this hash set, when you call a method called size, so either you call on the hash set, or you call on the linked hash set, or you call on the tree set, all will give you the size of that particular set class, set object. Okay, it will give you how many records you have in this set object. So one thing you can see that is very important. When I'm trying to print original dot size, I'm getting that 2, but for tree set dot size I'm getting that 0. So why I'm getting that tree set dot size is equal to 0? The reason being is the problem what I did, I have a link hash set here for the reference, but I'm adding to the main original one, and when I'm adding in the set class, all the data is duplicate, right? So finally you will have only 2 record. That is the reason you are getting 2 record. If it is list class, it will add everything. Then again for tree set also I need to do like this. Okay, and this also you can write in the print statement. So now you can see that you will get true, and then you will get 2 and 2. So true, 2 and 2. If this will make to 200, see here false, right? So that's how contains and contains all method and size method works in the hash set class. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this.